A great morning, everyone. The two topics that were designated to me are gas exchange and transport. These are the objectives of the assigned lessons. Explain partial pressure and its effects on the diffusion of a gas. Describe external gas exchange. Describe internal gas exchange. Identify the form and location in which oxygen and carbon dioxide are transported in blood. Explain how carbon dioxide levels affect pH. Define hemoglobin saturation. List the physical factors that can increase oxygen unloading. Before moving to the main subjects, there are five processes that are involved in respiration, and they are pulmonary ventilation, external gas exchange, gas transport, internal gas exchange, and cellular respiration. We understand that the role of pulmonary transportation continually refreshes the air in the alveoli. And why is this important? For it supports external respiration of external gas exchange. So gas exchange occurs across in the respiratory membrane between blood and pulmonary capillaries and the air in the alveoli, while carbon dioxide and oxygen diffuse down their pressure gradients. Pulmonary ventilation ensures that there is adequate pressure gradient between the blood and the pulmonary capillaries in the air in the alveoli. Carbon dioxide is unloaded from the pulmonary capillaries and oxygen is loaded onto the pulmonary capillaries. Both gases moving down their pressure gradients. This oxygenated blood now, high in oxygen and low in carbon dioxide, is then transported to the left side of the heart and then transported to the systematic capillaries. In the systematic capillaries, we have opposite pressure gradients compared to pulmonary capillaries. Oxygen is going to be unloaded from the blood of the systematic capillaries, moving down its pressure gradient, and carbon dioxide will be loaded onto the blood of systematic capillaries, also moving down its concentration gradient. Now, let us dig deeper in the details of these processes. What is gas exchange? Gas exchange is movement of a specific gas from one location to another is determined by the pressure and multiplying it by value for the percentage of the gas in the air. For example, we can calculate the partial pressure of oxygen in the atmospheric air by taking atmospheric pressure, which is 760 millimeters of mercury, and multiplying it by the percentage oxygen in atmospheric, which is 2.9%. So, we get partial pressure of oxygen of 159 millimeters of Hg or mercury. We can do the same thing for carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is less than 400ths of a percent in atmospheric air. So we get a partial pressure of 3 millimeters of mercury for carbon dioxide. When we are considering the partial pressure of a gas within a liquid, we also have to consider the solubility of the specific gas in the specific liquid. Since we are talking about the partial pressures of oxygen and carbon dioxide in blood, and blood is 50 water roughly, we have to consider the solubilities of carbon dioxide and oxygen in water. Carbon dioxide is much more soluble than oxygen is in water. Therefore, it takes a greater concentration of carbon dioxide in water to obtain a partial pressure equal to that oxygen. In other words, water is less willing to give up carbon dioxide molecules. So it takes more carbon dioxide molecules in water to obtain the same partial pressure. This is illustrated in the figure of container with water. Here we have a container of water with equal partial pressures of oxygen and carbon dioxide. But as you look closely and you will notice it takes twice as many carbon dioxide molecules, shown which is green in color, than it does oxygen molecules, shown in sort of the reddish orange, to obtain equal partial pressures. During external gas exchange, oxygen is loaded onto the blood of the pulmonary capillaries and carbon dioxide is unloaded. This process occurs by the diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide from high partial pressures to low partial pressures. The process of diffusion across the respiratory membrane is dependent on two main factors: the partial pressure gradient across respiratory membrane and the health of the lung tissue. Now, let us look at external gas exchange. That is the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide across the respiratory membrane. The partial pressure of oxygen is significantly higher in the alveoli than it is in blood arriving from the pulmonary arteries. Therefore, oxygen diffuses down in partial gradient and is loaded into the blood of the pulmonary capillaries. The opposite gradient exists for carbon dioxide. The partial pressure of carbon dioxide is greater in blood arriving from the pulmonary capillaries than it is in the alveoli. Therefore, carbon dioxide also diffuses down its pressure gradient and the blood pressure is unloaded of carbon dioxide. Both oxygen and carbon dioxide levels quickly reach equilibrium between the air and the alveoli and the blood in the pulmonary capillaries, such that blood leaving via the pulmonary veins has the same partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide as the air in the alveoli. During external respiration, oxygen is loaded into the blood. Oxygen first moves into the plasma and then 99 of the oxygen moves into red blood cells where it binds to an iron containing protein called hemoglobin. This forms oxyhemoglobin. Oxyhemoglobin emits a red color, and for that reason, oxygenated blood or blood that is oxygen-rich appears a very bright scarlet red. This oxygenated blood is then transported by the cardiovascular system to the systematic capillaries. These capillaries, at the systematic capillaries, the partial pressure of oxygen is greater in the blood that is in the interstitial fluid of the body tissues. Therefore, oxygen is released from the hemoglobin inside red blood cells, enters the plasma, and then diffuses down this partial pressure gradient into the interstitial fluid of the body tissues. This is internal gas exchange or internal respiration. Equilibrium between the partial pressure of oxygen in the systematic capillaries and the interstitial fluid is reached very quickly, such that as oxygen poor blood leaves the systematic capillaries in the venules, the partial pressure of oxygen in the venules is equal to the partial pressure of oxygen in the interstitial fluid. This deoxygenated blood or oxygen poor blood is darker shade of red compared to the oxygenated blood. Hemoglobin saturation refers to the percentage of oxygen binding sites on the hemoglobin molecules that are actually occupied by oxygen molecule. Hemoglobin saturation peaks at 98% of pulmonary capillaries and then drops to a minimum of around 45% in systematic capillaries. There are several physical conditions that can increase the unloading of oxygen from the blood in the systematic capillaries. This condition occur when there is an increase in metabolism, a decrease in pH, an increase in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, as well as an increase in the temperature can all increase the amount of oxygen unloaded from the blood in the systematic capillaries. During internal gas exchange on internal respiration, while oxygen is being unloaded from the blood, carbon dioxide is being loaded into the blood, moving down its partial pressure gradient from the interstitial fluid into the blood of the systematic capillaries. There is a small amount of carbon dioxide enter the plasma, but most carbon dioxide enters the red blood cells. There is a small binds to hemoglobin, a different site on the hemoglobin molecule than oxygen. So it does not interfere with the binding of oxygen to hemoglobin, but most of the carbon dioxide combines with water to form carbonic acid, and then carbonic acid dissociates into bicarbonate ions and hydrogen ions. So most of the carbon dioxide in blood circulates in the form of bicarbonate. Also note that as the carbon dioxide content of blood increases, the pH of blood decreases. Because of carbon dioxide levels increase, the hydrogen ion content of the blood increases as well. The deoxygenated blood, when it leaves the systematic capillaries, notice that it has the same partial pressure of carbon dioxide as the interstitial fluid because of the blood of the systematic capillaries reaches the equilibrium with the interstitial fluid in the terms of the content of carbon dioxide or the partial pressure of carbon dioxide. The oxygenated blood is transported to the pulmonary capillaries where the carbon dioxide is reformed from bicarbonate ion and hydrogen ions and then diffuses down its partial pressure gradient into the alveoli during the external respiration and previously described. Now, let us review the objective of the lessons. Explain partial pressure and its effects on the diffusion of a gas. Describe external gas exchange. Describe internal gas exchange. Identify the form and location in which oxygen and carbon dioxide are transported in blood. Explain how carbon dioxide levels affect pH. Define hemoglobin saturation. List the physical factors that can increase oxygen unloading. Thank you all very much for listening. God bless you all.